Hi, boys and girls. Today we're going to be in our RL journal and we're going to be on page 49 and we're going to be reading a story called The Kitten. I'm going to see about sharing my screen with you, seeing if I could bring up the overhead and you can follow along with me. Okay, there we go. All right, follow along with me. The Kitten. Sophie had always wanted a pet. Her mom told her that she was not responsible enough for a pet. Sophie knew deep inside that if she only had a pet, she would do everything she was supposed to do. She would wake up early for feedings, and she would clean up when her pet made a mess. She would play with her pet, and she would never have to be told to take care of it. Sophie could not understand why her mom thought she wasn't ready. One day, Sophie was walking home from school when she heard a whimpering in the bushes. Curi- curi- Curiously, Sophie looked into the bushes. To her surprise, there was a teeny kitten. The kitten was gray and very fuzzy. It was all alone and looked scared and hungry. Sophie knew she had to help the kitten. She leaned down and scooped it into her arms. "I'm going to call you Ghost," Sophie whispered. Sophie came home with Ghost in her arms, and her mother wouldn't be home for another hour. So Sophie set her plan into motion. She took Ghost into the bathroom and ran some warm, soapy water in the bathtub. She leaned down and tried to put Ghost into the water, but he began scratching and meowing at Sophie. Sophie decided she was going to have to take things slowly. She got a cup and gently began to pour the water over his gray fur. And while she spoke soothingly to the kitten, Ghost immediately calmed down and let Sophie give her a bath. Sophie used her coconut shampoo to wash him, and soon he smelled fresh and clean. Sophie grabbed her pink, fluffy bath towel and dried Ghost. She laughed as his fur stuck up wildly. "I bet you're hungry," said Sophie. "Let's go to the kitchen and get food." So Sophie and Ghost went to the kitchen and opened the pantry door. "Yes, I think I will give you some tuna," said Sophie to Ghost. She opened the can and put a small amount on a plate. Ghost looked a bit confused at first, but as soon as he smelled the tuna, he hungrily began to eat and eat and eat. In a matter of seconds, he had eaten all the tuna. "I don't want to give you too much, Ghost," said Sophie. "We will have more in a while." About that time, the door opened and in walked Sophie's mom. Sophie met her mom at the door with the kitten gently sitting in her arms. "Don't be mad. Well, it's just that I found this scared kitten in the bushes and I brought him home," Sophie said quickly. Sophie's heart was beating so quickly. She was worried that her mom was angry. She wanted to keep Ghost so bad, but was sure her mom was going to make her get rid of the kitten. "Sophie, we've talked about this. I think, I don't think you're ready for the responsibility of a pet. Pets are so much work. They need to be bathed and fed and have their messes cleaned up. It's a huge job to have a pet," Sophie's mom said. "Mom, I know having a pet is a big responsibility, but I'm ready for it. I found Ghost in a bush on the way home from school, and he needed me. I brought him home, gave him a bath, dried him, and fed him some tuna. I promise I will be responsible for him. You won't have to do anything at all," Sophie said hurriedly. "Please, please, please, can I keep her?" Sophie's mom looked at the gray, fuzzy kitten in her kitchen. She looked at the hopeful expression on Sophie's face. "I guess you better go get your wet clothes changed, Sophie, so we can get going," said Sophie's mom seriously. So we can take him to the animal shelter, you mean? Said Sophie sadly. I think you better get your clothes changed so that we can run to the pet store and get Ghost some supplies. We can also ask the pet store for recommendations for a veterinarian. Ghost will need a checkup and some shots, her mother said with a smile. You mean I can keep him? Sophie squealed. Oh, Mom, this is the best day ever. I promise to care for Ghost. You won't be sorry, promised Sophie. Hugging her mom, Sophie ran to her room to change her clothes. Her dreams had finally come true. And that was the story, The Kitten, found on page 49 and 50 of your RL journal. It covers theme, and we're also going to be talking about summary with this lesson coming up.